what makes your triggered reactions so intense and so powerful? Why do you get so defensive when someone tells you you're wrong? Why do you lash out at people when they disagree with you? Why is it so hard to open up, to be vulnerable with people that you're in relationship with? Why are you so afraid or suspicious of what people around you are saying or doing? See, I believe if we could just all go back and re-examine that initial wound that created the trigger in you, we'd probably find that somewhere along the way, there was a story that got attached to it. It was a story that you began telling yourself, or maybe a story that you heard from another person to just explain what happened, or maybe a story that began to define who you are as a person. And over time, well, you heard the story so much you started to believe it. But in reality, the story's a lie. It's not true. But now you've been living like it's true. And one of the reasons you get triggered is because you're believing that lie. But here's the good news. I believe that there is a third story that God is telling. Past the lies we get told and the lies we tell ourselves, there is another story. And if we can just hear it, we can begin to put an end to the triggers and the rage and the fear. But in order to hear what God is telling us, we first have to sort through the lies. They attach themselves to our thinking and they wind up hurting us and hurting other people around us. And listen, it's not an intentional thing that we're doing. We don't want to hurt other people. But there's this cycle that gets started with these fears or these wounds that we suffer in our lives. We become hurt people. And then hurt people, they wind up hurting other people. Think about the moments or the words or the situations in your life that tend to trigger you the most. The things in life that make you the most angry, the most frustrated, fearful, defeated. And whenever you get triggered towards that feeling, see, there's a story that you're telling yourself in that moment. There's an internal explanation that you have that goes along with your reaction, and it's usually what you're using to excuse the reaction. It's the truth of God that can set us free from the bondage of the lies that our wounds have told us. When we set our minds on what God says to us and what He says about us, and then we trust in it and we live like it's true, that truth sets us free from the triggers and the anger and the fear. So, what are the lies that you're believing? And then, what does God's Word say about them?